Oh, what a beautiful day it is here in Grand Buffet Park, the large park in the middle of Potluck City. And I'm here today to get some fresh air, enjoy myself. But while I was here, I had a thought about an answer to Worksheet 18, Know What You Do Unconsciously. And that is what we're going to talk about today on Life's Potluck Buffet. I'm John Paulus. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so here's Worksheet 18, Know What You Do Unconsciously. And if you recall Card 18 mentioned the idea of when you're playing a game and there are a lot of game pieces to choose from, maybe there's a top hat and a thimble and an iron and a car and a dog, a little dog. You know the game I'm talking about? Well, that game originally, if you don't know what game I'm talking about, just search for top hat, Scotty dog, thimble. It'll pop up. I learned that game originally, when it was first mass marketed and published widely as a game, did not include any game pieces. The idea was that around the house you would find little items, see, like that thimble, and use those as your game pieces. And each player would select something from around their house. I find that fascinating because that's much more creative than being given several options. Both work well, however, for Worksheet 18 and for Card 18, because even with a limited set of options, any choice you make says something about you. It says something about you at the moment, and it often says something about you that's pretty constant. So that's why it's really interesting to talk about these things. In fact, this is a good worksheet to tie into Worksheet 45 about understanding your style, because they're both thinking about choices you make and the reasons you make them, and choices you make unconsciously without really giving it a ton of thought, or just giving it, just letting your mind do the walking, so to speak, and going to a place where you're going to make a choice. So I think these are really great together, the understanding your style and know what you do unconsciously. They're very similar in terms of what we're doing. The slight difference is that the understand your style is more about, style, whereas know what you do unconsciously is more about the choice you make that is a little bit more hidden, and for which the reasons are a little bit more hidden, at least I think. So here's Worksheet 18. Let's get to it. If you were playing a game and had to choose a game piece from items around you, which do you choose and why? Draw and label your choice, then discuss why you chose it. Okay, and this is a magenta noodles card, just like Understand Your Style. And so Worksheet 18 has the magenta noodles on top, and there's a blue frame, Life's Potluck blue frame, as there is with Worksheet 45, where you can play around with choices that you're thinking about. As I said in the beginning of the episode, I was really inspired by the things that I saw in the park. I saw chess pieces. People were playing chess. And I thought about chess pieces. And I was thinking about which would the knight piece really appealed to me. when I was thinking about, which piece would I choose if I had to choose one piece? Now, I didn't touch any of the pieces, don't worry. I just looked. So these people were playing chess. But the knight piece is the one I think that I might choose today. If I had to choose a chess piece, there's a knight and there's castles or rooks, whatever a rook is. If you know what a rook is, please let me know in the comment. I mean, what that means. And there's the bishop in English. There's the queen, the king, the pawns. And did I leave anybody out? No, I think that's all. But anyway, out of those pieces, I think I would choose knight. How about you? What appealed to you there and why? Okay, so let's pick a pen color. I'm going to do actually two colors today. They're not standard issue Life's Potluck Buffet colors because I'm going to draw an item I saw in the park. And that is an acorn. All right, I'm going to make a brown top for this acorn. And then I'm going to do this. And I'm going to move that there. There's the stem. This is the fastest acorn I've ever drawn. And then, because it's a little early in the season, acorns are still green. So I'm going to draw a green bottom here for the acorn. And there we go. There we go. All right. There's an acorn from an oak tree. And there we have it. So there's my choice for my game piece today, and it's an acorn. And now, why did I choose an acorn? Well, acorns mean a lot to me. And when I see them, they've got a lot going on for me. First of all, I think of them as food. Food for animals, food for humans, because there are many cultures that use acorn in traditional dishes. So I know about some, and so if you know about dishes that are made with acorns from oak trees, that humans eat, put it in the comments, please. I'd love to know. Or if you have ever eaten acorns in any context. But I really think about they're really like treasure. Oh, I'm thinking about that treasure idea again because acorns contain so much. They're very good food. They have a lot of nutrients in them that certainly the animals who store them away, like squirrels store them away in the winter where I am, and other animals eat them. I could think of many contexts where various animals of various sizes, from pigs to horses to you name it, eat acorns from oak trees. And I really just think that that acorn symbolizes so much treasure in that regard. And I've been thinking about that treasure chest a lot. And yesterday I talked about some ideas behind that civic investment, the financial flourishing. I think that all of that has to do with the kind of that notion of that treasure that I've been thinking about. But the acorn symbolizes that perfectly for me. It also symbolizes potential because from acorns grow oak trees, majestic, beautiful oak trees. And that is another wonderful thing about the acorn to me, is that it symbolizes potential and a future of flourishing. You think of that 100-year-old oak tree and you think of, I think of flourishing, right? All of those leaves, all of those green leaves, that's something that I think is absolutely remarkable about the acorn, that from this very, very small thing, in 100 years, you have a massive tree. And that goes along with that whole treasure chest concept too. Because if you think of the growth of, I was talking about civic investment and things that you put into a small thing. Oh, no, here it is again. That investment idea is all about a small thing or small things becoming big things with time. That's an amazing thing. And it's there in nature right before us. So today, my choice of my game piece is the acorn. A small thing that makes a big difference to me. Look around you today and tell me, what are you going to choose as your game piece? Feel free to put it in the comments and let us know. And if you enjoyed this episode and you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I'd love it if you did. And thank you. And finally, to get Worksheet 18, Know What You Do Unconsciously, or Worksheet 45, Understand Your Style, go to lifespotluck.com/worksheets and download all of the worksheets that we've talked about so far on Life's Potluck Buffet. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you tomorrow.